Hey, this is Chuck Mayer welcoming you to another weekly update here at Fishy Business. As promised, we're going to go through and do some things that we haven't typically done in the past with the videos. So I want to show you start off by showing you some of the things that came in this week. These are really fantastic. These are eco-fresh bugs for all of your predatory fish. There is every type of bug imaginable that came in these little vacuum-packed sealers, but I just noticed these today. I guess they came in today or earlier in the week. But a fantastic new natural source of food for any of your larger predatory fish, and there is something to represent all the insect family right here. So absolutely really cool food there. The spotlight product, and one of the things that I harp on the most, and every time I do, nobody has ever heard of it. It's vitamins for your fish. Vitamins help prevent against 90% of bacterial infections in fish. A lot of what's lost in the food processing, be it frozen food, flake food, whatever food that you buy, a lot of the vitamin content is lost, and this little bottle of Fishtamin, it's very inexpensive, is a very simple way of putting a lot of those vitamins back. They help tremendously when it comes to the long-term health of the fish, especially if you're dealing with saltwater fish, because you're dealing with fish that have come out of the ocean in most cases, and you don't know what the internal situation is like of that fish. With freshwater fish, yeah, most of them are bred in captivity, but not all. And vitamins are the perfect way of kind of helping hedge your bets toward the quality and care of that fish. This is something that I sell with every bit of food that I sell. It'll last a long time. It's a very small medicine dropper size vitamin, but ask about them when you're in here. And if nothing else, learn a little bit about the health of your fish from the internal side of things. This is one of the best ways to do it. Very important for long-term fish care. So that's Fishtamin, that's your fish vitamin, that's the spotlight product of the week. We just got in some really cool, almost bird's nest type driftwood. These are really cool if you want to take moss and different types of plant like that and build little kind of moss balls on here. Fantastic swim throughs for the fish. If you look at all the different ways they can swim through that, we didn't get a lot of these, but the ones we got are extremely cool. And just as like with bonsai plants and things like that, where you want to actually change the structure, a nice pair of scissors and you can create your own structure within this structure. Makes perfect for a planted tank. You have lots of small fish, and you want to keep them with larger fish. This is a great way for them to hide. You've got fish that are breeding. This is a perfect place for them to have their babies. So this is some really cool driftwood that I can't really remember us having. We've got several different types. You can see very dense pieces. We have some really cool small pieces. But that in and of itself looks really cool. It almost has like a lifelike form to it. But that would even look cool in a small 10-gallon tank. So some really cool driftwood that came in this week. Okay, so on to the fish. In the freshwater department this week, we got in some really cool cherry shrimp right here. If you'll zero in on that, you can kind of look and see all the different patterns. The crystal red shrimp. The cool thing about these shrimp is they do have lots of different patterns. You've got one over here that's almost all white. You've got the bars. They're so cool. They're so cool. Can't say enough about those. German blue rams came in this week. Really exceptional looking blue rams. If you'll look at the turquoise bars on them, they just really came in fantastic. They're already eating. They're already fighting a little bit, which is a great sign anytime you get new fish in. Right up here, we have the Exodon paradoxus, the meanest tetra on the planet. These things grow teeth that you can see. They are not to be kept with your other communal tetras. Even though they are in the communal department, they have their own tank right now. These are very tough little fish. They can be kept with things like your Geophagus, Severums, larger bodied, not too terribly aggressive cichlids, and some of the oddballs. If you've got an oddball tank with maybe black ghosts, things like that, larger bodied fish that are in and of themselves, hold their own and have their own fin nipping aggression, I guess you could say, a school of these might look really cool because otherwise couldn't keep them anywhere else. So those are cool. We don't have those very often. Right underneath, we got glowfish back in stock, really healthy looking, really nice colors on those. Right over here, we got a rainbow wolffish in. Last couple of videos, we've had a wolffish. I have not had a rainbow wolffish, so this one actually has some color. Very aggressive, piranha-like fish. Needs to be kept in an aggressive tank, if not by itself. We got one of these this week. Really large butterfly fish. Okay, also, platinum green tiger barbs came in looking great this week. These never really last a long time because we sell them so fast, but in terms of hardiness, in terms of looking really pretty, if you've got a barb tank, tiger barbs, albino tiger barbs, silver dollars, things like that, these are fantastic. So platinum green tiger barbs right there. Got some crebensis right down here that look really nice. I also have, yes, silver dollars, medium silver dollars. We haven't had a really good, healthy selection of silver dollars in quite some time. I've got them right now. They're all schooling. They look really good. You have that barb, fin nipper type tank, silver dollars, absolute must. I think those are the highlights of freshwater this week. Let's go to saltwater. I have something special to show you. Okay, so over here in the planted tank, I want to draw your attention to some cool fish that we have also. Black neon tetras are right up here. Those always put on a great show. Rummy nose, you can't say enough about those. Those are probably one of the most desired fish for any kind of planted tank just because of their disposition, how they school, and the uniqueness of their color patterns. Right back here, I have one other thing I want to show you. As the goldfish, we have the extra large Ryunkins that came in this week that are very beautiful. We have butterfly koi that came in, and I've got these. Let's see, there was one other thing. Oh, sorry. The black tie arandas that came in. I only got 2 of them. They're not cheap, but they are a phenomenal showy goldfish. They are absolutely perfect, just like Kevin said. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't find them. So yeah, tie arandas. Now let's go to saltwater. Okay, so welcome to the saltwater department, where we got no new fish in today. Why didn't we get any new fish in today?
Thought I submitted the order and I did not.
This is the head of our saltwater department.
I apologize.
Gracie Kubler. Yes. Thank you, Gracie Kubler, for the wonderful fish that we're showing everybody right now that didn't come in today. However, they are coming in tomorrow. So you will have saltwater fish this week, just not in this video. So, but in effort to make this video something for you to see in the saltwater department, we have the saltwater manager, Gracie, who is going to take us through the saltwater department and talk a little bit about what she does here. And maybe it'll open your eyes to kind of what's involved with actually running a saltwater department. She has been the head of our saltwater department for 3, maybe 5 years now, pretty much. And everything that happens on the front side of what you do see and what you don't see on the back side happens because of Gracie. Okay, so can you kind of verbally take us through what a morning is like for you when you get in here and all the lights are off and there's no people in here, that sort of thing?
Okay, well, first thing I do when I walk in here in the morning is I cut on all the lights for my saltwater system, and I kind of go through and look at everybody to see who's showing signs of stress, who may have flukes, who may have ick, anything like that pretty much, who is getting beat up and who doesn't belong in the tank together. So I'll kind of walk all the way around and kind of figure that out. If I do happen to find someone that needs to go into treatment, I will take them over here into our quarantine system. So the quarantine system is where we treat all the sick fish. Anybody who has a flu kick, any of the things that I just said, lymphocystis, anything like that, they go in here. That way it's on a completely separate system from the main system, so that way none of the other fish over here have a chance of getting it over time. So.
How typical is it for you to find something?
It can vary. It can be, I mean, of course, every week when I get fish, there will at least be that one or two that have a problem or are covered in fluid when they first come in or something like that. And they'll go in here for about a week or two.
Do you find more specific types of fish are, exhibit those signs more so or less so than others? Are there certain fish you target every time they come in the door? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Mainly the angelfish, any type of dwarf angel or the larger angels, tangs, specifically hippo tangs, any type of powder blue tang, anything like that pretty much would usually be the first sign of having something. Gobies are, I think, a little less likely. It's possible, but I honestly haven't had one that had anything wrong with it. In a couple of years, I haven't really seen anything wrong with the gobies. But other than that, tangs and angels pretty much. Yeah.
And even with all the different things that we do here, as far as, in the customer's house, are you a big proponent of quarantining and things like that when it comes to,
You want to quarantine if you have your own tank, your own reef tank, your own fish only tank, whatever you have, you want to do it, because if you don't, you run the risk of all your other fish getting it. You run the risk of putting a treatment in your tank that's not reef safe. It may say it's reef safe, but it might not be. You run the risk of losing your inverts. There's a lot of things you run the risk of losing if you do that. So you don't have to quarantine system.
And I guess when it comes to checking things out here, when you obviously you go through water tests on a regular basis. How often do you test the system?
Every week.
Every week?
Every week, sometimes twice a week. Mainly nitrates, salinity. Ammonia and nitrates are really a thing since it's already a cycling system. You don't really check for that if you're recycling your tank. Other than that, the reef tanks, calcium cage, magnesium, those are the things you really check out.
So you got past the beginning of your day, you checked out the fish, at least initially. Now, will you go back through later in the day then this is a daily process, isn't it, for you?
Yep.
And that's before the lights are even on. And then beyond that, once you kind of checked and looked for things that were wrong, where does your day go from there?
Usually, so once a week I will do water change on every single system in here, every single week. Try to, keep my nitrates under control because I feed a lot. I try to make sure that everybody is well fed, and that way whatever fish you're buying from here, that it's well fed and it's eating good. Now, should you feed your fish every single day and overfeed it? No, probably not. But I do it just as an extra precaution for the people that are buying from me, just to make sure that they're okay. Other than that, I guess on a daily basis, I just try to walk around and make sure that everything is doing good and everything's okay. If the water change needs to be done, I'll do it. Protein skimmers, if those need to be changed, I'll change those. All the filtration back there, once a week. Got to change out all the foam pads, filter socks, all that stuff.
Can you just kind of give us a general overview of the systems management here? Like how, just take us through maybe the back room or, underneath some of the tanks and kind of show what we run on our stuff.
Well, on the reef tank back here, we have a refugium. So down here we have a lot of macroalgae. This system has 2 sumps on it. So one side of the refugium, with all the macroalgae. Macroalgae helps reduce nitrates. It's also a good breeding ground for copepods. Copepods feed a lot of your fish, and they help with diatoms and stuff in the sand.
What do you feed the copepods?
Phytoplankton, or tryphytoplankton. We have a lot of that up there at the front too. So if you have any copepods or you're trying to establish a colony of them, that's a good thing to feed them, as well as your corals. Down here we have a protein skimmer. That helps reduce nitrates before they become nitrates. Now, obviously, you're still going to have a little bit, but if it's a big part of it, it helps reduce it. So that's a really good thing to have on any reef tank or fish-only tank, really. So, because if you ever go on the beach and you see all the white bubbles foaming up on the front end, that's the ocean's natural way of ridding itself of waste, pretty much. So.
And how about the fish systems?
Back here. It's not the most impressive. But so back here I have the quarantine one. Now I have the protein skimmer off on there for a reason. A lot of the treatments that I put in there say to turn off the protein skimmer. So that is why it's off. Now back there, I've got a lot of filter pads back there. There is a biopellet reactor back there for phosphates and nitrates. There's also some filter socks back there. Over here, this is the clownfish system. We keep them on a separate system. Got 2 protein skimmers on here, and we've got 2 filter sock holders over there. There's also phosphate reducers and nitrate reducers in those filter socks.
So once you've done a typical run through and kind of checked the systems, you checked the fish, what happens with your day from that point on?
A lot of the time I'm helping customers, trying to help customers with their tanks, make sure that they get the right thing, fish-wise, coral-wise, food-wise, everything pretty much. That takes up a lot of time.
And then, of course, there is the ordering of fish that you actually do.
Yeah, sorry I didn't do that this week. I really thought that I pressed the submit button and I didn't. I even went back later and I swore up and down that I did it, but I didn't. So hopefully I do that once a week too.
So, what, not hit the submit button?
No, I hit the submit button.
So anyway, we'll have some saltwater fish to show you in future videos, clearly. But this today was an introduction to one of the heart of Fishy Business as far as our team. And in weeks to come, we'll have more of the rest of the pieces of that heart. And thank you, Gracie.
You're welcome.
Thank you for all of those that watch us from week to week. Hopefully we can make these things to where you can see everybody over the coming weeks. I hope you have a great week, and more to come when the saltwater fish get here.